5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Coming to you live from our Dream Big Regional Headquarters. We are here for Dreaming Big and Being Bold. Have my good buddy Ron Clark here with us.
Hey,
how you
Dave,
doing
how are
this
you
morning?
this morning?
I'm
well.
doing well. Man, we are here on Oaks Day. Now, if you're watching this from outside Louisville, you might be asking, what is Oaks Day? But Oaks Day happens on the eve of the Kentucky Derby. Derby 144 will be run here in Louisville tomorrow. So really excited about the opportunity there. It's a time for Louisville to shine, not only on the Kentucky stage, but on the world stage.
Absolutely.
So pretty exciting. Folks, we're here. We're going to talk sales. We're talking entrepreneurship. We are raising an army of entrepreneurs and excited to do so. Our regional headquarters here is a training facility, and we continue to grow careers, grow legacies, grow opportunity to create success, not only for our current folks here, but for hopefully generations to come. So, Ron, I'm going to ask you a couple questions here, man. Why sales?
Why sales? I don't know, Dave. Honestly, I mean, it comes down, I spent 26 years in operations. So
Right.
26 years managing companies, managing their operations to success. And it took care of my family pretty well, right? But one of the things I noticed is that I'd work really hard to make a lot of other people very successful.
Right.
The great thing about sales, the great thing about doing what I'm doing right now is that I help a lot of people, but at the same time, I help myself to have the kind of success that I used to see other people have.
Right.
So I get to control my paycheck. I write my own check now. And I think that is incredible because I don't have a ceiling. If I decide that, what I need to make a certain amount, I can go out and make that amount, whatever that would be. I get to control that. If I'm willing to work, if I'm willing to hustle, if I'm willing to put the energy in every day to be able to do this and be successful at it, I can. So, for people who look at sales and they say to themselves, well, no, this is sales, man. I don't want to do sales. Sales,
Right.
I tell you that it's not that. It's about what you do. It's about going out, helping people, but at the same time, it benefits you and your family.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about when you say going out, when you say go to market. What's that look like for you?
It's going to market, right? It's going out and it's presenting yourself. It's presenting what you do, giving your why so people understand what you're out there doing, right? Trying to make a difference by being able to help people in areas where you can benefit them and can benefit their family. So going to market means going out there knowing who you are. I think one of the things I see with new agents and new people all the time is that unsureness at times when they're just kind of like going out there and they feel like they're filling themselves out every day. No, that's not the way you do things. First, you got to know who you are, know what you do, know how you people, and then when you go out there, you present yourself. I tell people all the time, I says, when people purchase things from me, they buy me.
Right.
So it's not so much the different services
Not the product.
that I make available.
Yeah,
to them,
it's
right?
you.
It's me, right? So they get the chance to meet me, understand me, know that I'm going to work in their best interest. And if you go out there with that attitude, and you probably heard me say this before, if you have that certain swagger about you,
Right.
when you go out every day, where I make a difference and I'm helping people. And this is not the me monster saying that it's all
Right.
about me, but it's like, I know I can help people. I know I can help businesses and I can help them become successful and I can help them maintain success if they already have that. If you go out to market knowing that you bring something to the market,
Right.
it makes all the difference in the world. And one of the things I think that anyone who's thinking about a life this way is that if you know you're genuinely the kind of person who would help someone and that you have a genuine concern for helping people become more successful, a business like this gives you every opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Well, that's strong because that's why we're here. One of the things I love about what we do in our regional operations here is the mentorship piece
Right.
of what we do. So when folks join us, it's not like, God bless you, good luck, if you find somebody to talk to. We're actually mentoring folks along the way, and that's a process that we have. Can you talk a little bit about how you mentor folks?
Well, yeah, first of all, you got to find out who they are.
Right.
What I love about what we do here, being part of this Dream Big region, about what we do is that we don't train people to be like us.
Right.
Right. We don't mentor them to be like me. A lot of times, if you mentor someone, you try to mimic someone. we stay away from mimicking, right?
Right.
So we find out who you are, what you possess, what your natural skills are, your abilities, your talents, right?
Right.
And as a result of own programs around your ability, what you're capable of being, and teach you how to be the best you that you can be. So
Right.
that means that we spend time with you from the very beginning, you, going out with you, showing you the right ways, teaching you from setting, right? It's like putting you with other people outside of, because I do things a certain way, right?
Right.
But if they only saw my way, then they may not fit well for them, right? So we put you in a state class. We'll put you in classrooms with other people who do the same things I do. We'll put you with your peers. All of that is so that you can get a really good wide perspective on different ways to do our business, but kind of sticks to the same theory though. You know, so it's still a concept that we teach, but at the same time it gives you the ability to work that concept according to yourselves. I don't think I've seen it done better. I've seen training programs, but every training program I've been a part in my 26 years of operation is one that teaches mimicking.
Right.
It teaches everybody to mimic the same
Do
thing.
as I do.
Do as
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do it this way, you'll have success. Well, in this world, what makes you successful is you.
Yeah.
It's your personality. It's what you bring to the table. So if you're mimicking, you know, I tell people all the time, I can be a great Ron, but I can never be a great Dave Watson.
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to be like Dave,
Right.
you know, I could probably, you know, flutter around in your shoes a little bit, but I'll never be able to achieve what you can achieve being yourself.
Right.
But if I learn how to be the best me I can be, then I can be successful.
Yeah.
And that's what we teach.
Because we talk to a lot of folks that want to come into this, and when you talk about being authentically you, you're talking about
Right.
there, that's why the offer's made, because people are chosen to be here. They're not, you know, I mean, this isn't just we'll take whoever walks in the door. We're trying to build the best operation that we can possibly build. Our Dream
Absolutely.
Big region has and that is taking folks from this level and level. But I think you're right on, it's got to be authentically you in order to do that.
That's
So-
what I love. I love the diversity of what we do. When I talk about diversity, I'm not talking about, you know, gender. I'm not talking about a race. I'm talking about the uniqueness of each individual we deal with. I mean, we have people who are executives, right? They
Right.
They're just suited up. They walk in, you know, everything they say is very professional. And then we have people who are the, you know, they work at the tattoo shops. They work at the salons. Those people, those personalities, the everyday salt of the earth kind of people. But the great thing about it is that all of that works because it's all those people who are in the world. Every kind of person is out there. So that means that no matter who you are, no matter what you do, even with your personality type, there's somebody who owns a business. There's a customer who's just like you, looking for someone like you to help them to be able to be successful and to be able to take care of their families and take care of themselves.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. When I look at our sales folks, let's put it that way, our teams here, it's interesting because they're all over the place as well.
Right.
I mean, from 18 years old to, I'll just say older than the 18
Yeah,
years old.
thank you.
And,
Thank you.
no worries. Older than 18. But the neat thing is, and Louisville's such a wonderful place that it has a lot of markets that are, I consider, niche markets. And so if you're that classic salesperson that's got all this sales experience, sometimes you'll be a great fit for us. Other times you're not,
Right.
because you can't walk into some places that some of our folks can walk in and be successful. And I always find it interesting when we look at the landscape of the people that are part of the Dream Big region. We're all over the place, and that's one of the things I love. Again, it's back to being authentically you. Because go ahead.
No, I agree with you because I think it's necessary, right? I mean, for us to be able to reach all the people that we need to reach, doing what we do, we need to have people who can reach them there. You know, I do outside of this. The other thing that I do is really focus on the fact that we're trying to reach every person we possibly can.
Right.
But we also, when we say we send out our soldiers, we send our soldiers into the territory that they can win in, right?
Right.
So it's like I won't try to send a suit into a place where they would not love a suit, right?
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so I look at it from the standpoint is like, you know what? If you're a sweatsuit kind of person, I'm a wetsuit kind of person as well. But if you're a suit, I'll send someone there who can be a suit as well. And I don't mean that in a negative way. The point of it is that we try to be able to fit you and make you comfortable. And that's even when it comes to recruiting, right?
Right.
we want people to understand that you have a place, right? So if you've been kind of rejected everywhere else, or if you've been that person who works someplace and there's always the other person who gets the promotion, the other person who gets the opportunity because you just don't fit their model.
Right.
The great thing about what we do is that whatever you are, you fit our model.
Yeah.
We have the ability to help you become the best you can be, and there are people out there looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
I love that about
Yeah,
what we
there's a place for you here. You know, yesterday I had the opportunity and good fortune to talk at one of the local universities, one of their marketing classes, and I gave them, or took them to do with all of our new folks and determining the bird. You know what I mean? There's eagles, there's parrots, doves, and owls, and all those are different personality types. And the one thing that we're very fortunate about is we train folks on how to interpret, when you walk into a room, how to look at a person and see what personality type that they are. And if you can do that, think about how much, I know, what's your personality type? What are you?
Well, they call it a parrot, right? I'm the kind of person that
you're wearing a bright enough,
exactly. I walk in the room and everybody is family, right? So, you know, I don't meet a stranger. I don't have a problem having a conversation with anyone, right? But at the same time, I don't want the details, right? I want the details to be worked out, but I don't really want to get in the muck of the details, right? So, so I'm that kind of person who walk in the room and let's just talk. Let's get to know one another. Then there are other people who let's just get to the point.
Right. That's your Eagles.
Exactly.
That's your Eagles.
Let's not spend a lot of time. And then there's others who's give me the numbers.
Right.
I need to see exactly how it is, and that's that's the owls, right? And then you have those people who I just want the best for everyone. I just want to make sure everybody's happy when it's all good. And that's what we call the doves, right?
Right.
But if you know who you're dealing with, when you walk in, you adjust according to them to be able to meet and fit their best need, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna speak to you in your language. If you as a parrot, if you talk eagle language to me, you will turn me off.
Right.
Right. And I'll be like, I feel you a little too pushy. It's making me a little uncomfortable. I'm walking away. Right. Right. But if you know that I'm a parrot, then you make the adjustment and you speak to me accordingly, then I can receive you, and then we can have success.
Right. Right. And the cool thing is when you saw, just talking to that class yesterday, I saw the light bulb pop on in some of their heads, realizing that our job is to be a chameleon. Sometimes when we walk into a place, we might come in with our own personality type, but we're going to adapt to our circumstances, and having that knowledge of how to read somebody when you're there can move that agenda and that success so much faster. But you gotta understand it, and so I'm proud of the way we teach it. I want to change a little bit. Talk about some ideas. You see our slide up there. It's the light bulb going off right over your head, Ron. So what are some of the things when we go, obstacles in today's market, how are we overcoming those?
Well, I think, today people are very uncomfortable having conversations in a sales arena, right? People have a tendency to want to gravitate away from it. They feel like somebody is trying to, I'm going to use the term get over, or someone is trying to take advantage of them, right? So it makes it very difficult when we walk into a place or we make phone calls for people to just give us the initial conversation, because they're just kind of like, oh, you're another one of those people, right? Yeah. So you can't be, I love the term you use all the time, you got to separate yourself from the herd. You can't be what everyone else is. So if your language is the same as those 90 people who walked in there before you, then you're going to get the same response. We appreciate you coming by, but we're not interested, right? You have to go in and you have to present yourself in a way that makes a person say, I want to talk to him or to her, right? And I want to find out what they're talking about. We use terms like brand statement, we turn things like that, but it's just, I remember elevator speech. So first time someone told me, they said, what's your elevator speech? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, if you're in the elevator.
Your 30-second commercial.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in New York, so they're like, I'm from New York. So they're like, if you're in the elevator with somebody and this person has an opportunity to help make a difference in getting you to where you want, what are you going to be able to say from the first floor to the 11th floor that would make them say, hey, I want to talk more? And you got to learn that about yourself. What is it that you can say, that you can do that will make a person say, I want to know Ron better. I want to know Dave better. I want to know this person better. And I want to learn what they actually bring, because it might fit. Right. So separating yourself from the herd, being unique, is so critically important in what we do. And you know, uniqueness can come in many different ways. It can literally be a jacket that makes somebody.
You're looking fly today, man. I like the buttonholes.
Well, you know,
they're all
every now
different
and
color.
then. You know, that's
every now
that's
and awesome.
But
that's awesome.
you know, I know this last year, right? If I wore a jacket with all these colors,
right,
and I'd walk in, the person who's standing, they're like, "Wow," and they would comment, and it would open the door to a conversation.
Right.
People here, he talks about bringing gadgets in, and he brings these little gadgets to the door to a conversation. You know, I'm not saying any of those are the way, but what I'm saying is that being unique, setting yourself apart, is sometimes what opens the door to have a conversation that can make all the difference in the world for someone else as well as for you.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that you got to always be thinking about what separates me from everyone else. And then you got to be that person all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? You use the term all the time, smile.
Right. It's my favorite word.
Yeah, exactly. Smile. Hashtag smile, but whatever the case may be. But when I hear the word smile, I think of Dave, right? If somebody says smile, I think of Dave, right?
Right.
That it sets you apart. It makes you unique. It's you, right? It's you all the time, and being optimistic and upbeat. And if we're having a day where, you know, we feel like it just didn't work out as well, we can walk in here, and then we're going to get that.
Right.
So that's the ideal is to be an idea.
Right.
So people will be like, wow, you know, this is unique, and this person is incredible.
Right. Well, that let's transition from that. You see our Fortnite. Lots of times when I come walking in my house, my youngest son is playing this game, and every time I watch this scene here, I think of prospecting. I think of our folks being dropped into a place, and you know, they usually don't have axes with them, that kind of stuff, and have to go to battle like this does in Fortnite. But it is prospecting is probably the hardest part of our job. But it is also, and what a lot of folks don't realize, it's got to be about them. You know what I mean? I always say make it a scavenger hunt when you go. You know, 2% of sales occur on that first visit. So should you expect anything on that first visit? No. 85% occur on that 5th to 12th visit. So what does that tell us? That tells us we got to go back, right? And so when we're prospecting, you know, and what I mean by making it about them, making a scavenger hunt, every time you go into that place, find out the person's name that greets you. So next time you walk in, you say, "Hey, Sue, how you doing?" You know what I mean? Or find out, what kind of coverages they have, or whatever field you're in, find out what's pertinent to you. So when you finally come face to face with that decision maker, you actually have you're armed with some stuff, you know, and I think that's key. But talk to me a little bit about prospecting.
I think you hit it on the head, Dave. I think I'm trying to get to the point where I was in the military, so military, every move was strategic.
Right.
So to really have the best strategy, you had to have as much intel as you possibly can, so you can make the right decision. So you had to understand who you were dealing with. You got to understand everything about their territory, their area, so that when you make the move you have to make the move, you would know the best way to do it so that you can achieve success. Well, it's the same thing with prospecting. When you're prospecting, you're going in, you're diving deep into trying to understand who the persons are you're dealing with, what they do, what's important to them. And as you gather that intel, it gives you the best way to be able to address them, to speak with them, to open up an opportunity for you to be able to possibly go forward and do sales with them. Right. But first, make sure they're important. I tell new agents all the time, we walk in and we have this person we call the gatekeeper, right? Right. The gatekeeper's job is to keep us away from the decision maker. Their job is we want to make sure the decision maker's time is never wasted, right? So a lot of new people have a tendency to ignore the gatekeeper, and they'll walk in and is the decision maker here? Decision making here, and like, no, I don't know what you're here for, but blah blah, and then they walk out discouraged, right? Yeah. But no, the gatekeeper is just as important as the decision maker, and every other person you communicate with. If you walk in and treat people with what they deserve, with that great deal of respect, and that you mean something to me, a lot of times those persons, many of gatekeepers, I would say 65 to 70% of gatekeepers are the reason why I get into a decision maker. Because they're advocates. They become advocates for you. Push me forward into them. And, we had one person just recently where the gatekeeper literally walked in to the decision maker office and said, he's come by here over and over again. I need you to make time for him. What time will that be?
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you go in and you strategically approach it to make sure that everyone understands that you respect them. You want the best for what's ever in their best interest. You want what's in the best interest of this business. Taking care of people is what makes this business successful, right?
Right.
If employers take care of their employees, they take care of their customers. If we take care of everybody we encounter, then they take care of us.
Yeah.
Prospecting is not as hard as we make it is. We just got to remember, this isn't the walk in the door and get the decision maker that makes you a successful prospector. A successful prospector understands that it's a long haul,
right,
with a great reward.
Right, right. So, when I talk to folks about this career, a lot of times I talk to them about it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Everybody wants the easy, the now, and that's not what this business is about. Not many businesses are like that. So you got to realize it is, we're in commission sales, and that scares a lot of people, and it should, quite honestly. I mean, it's definitely a calling. But if you get that mindset of what commission sales can do for you, it's kind of cool. But people get caught up in, when they're talking to individuals, they want to close it right then. They don't realize that the marathon approach will get them in more doors, create more opportunity for them in the long run. And then the referral side of that, once you've got through the gatekeeper, you've talked to the decision maker, you've closed the deal. What's the next step there when you talk about referral?
I look at it from the standpoint, if you take care of people, they have a tendency to want to take care of you, right? So if we come into a business or talk with a business owner and we literally put them first, right?
Right.
And let it be about them, not about you, not about your sales, not about your commission.
That's key. It's got to be about them.
It should always be about them, right? So that means whatever you're putting together for them is what's in their best interest,
right?
Not in your commission best interest, right? I literally talk people out of things because the presentation, they're like, oh, I want all of that. They're like, no, that's not what's in the best interest for you.
Right.
Let's look at your individual circumstance. Let's look at your business circumstance. Let's find the best thing that fits you. Well, when you do that, and when they know you have a genuine interest in helping them be successful and helping their people be successful, then you don't feel like you're being pushy. You don't feel like you're going out your way with them to say to them, is there any other people that I might be able to assist, that I might be able to help? And when you do that, they'll be like, you know what? I got a friend who owns this business. I know this person who owns this. I think you would be great for him. I told you recently I had a person, one of the business I went in, and he said, I'm gonna open up my entire book to you, Ron. He said, because you are a legitimate person that I think can help people. And he said, what I love is great is that I literally heard you tell somebody to go to another place because they would serve them better than go to you.
Right.
He said, that's the kind of person my friends need to meet. So if we are other-centered, right, and we put other people first, and we put the business, that company first, right? It's not about what you achieve right now. It's long-term success, right?
Right.
So I tell people, I'd rather sell a few people small policies that fit their budget, and then they push a whole lot on one person who's going to leave me a week. Take care of people. Take care of customers. Take care of business owners. They want to help take care of you. They will refer you to other businesses. It's just a fact. I had to learn it because I didn't listen in the beginning. Yeah. But I hear it clearly now, and I'm receiving the rewards of it.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we're getting close to the end here. Do you have a derby pick? Do you have any horses at all that you've looked at?
One of them that's running will win this race.
You were right.
Well, I tell you, Dave, I should tell people who it might be, and then they should bet for anyone else. Because,
cover the rest of the field.
Exactly, because I don't get it right pretty much any time, And for us, it's just fun, right?
Oh yeah.
But
$2 goes a long way.
Yeah, I just tell you, as they say, it's one of the most exciting 2 minutes that you'll ever experience in your life. And what I love about it is the work ethic.
Right.
Everything that goes into making someone a Derby winner, right? When you hear the history from all the way up until the point where they ran that race and won, it shows you that, if you're willing to put in the work, some wonderful things can happen. Right. The Kentucky Derby represents everything we try to do.
Wow. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, that's fantastic because the discipline, the drive, the
practice.
We're talking practice.
Talk about practice?
Yeah. because and that's the key thing, you know.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, it's people don't understand what they see that 2 minutes, think, wow, that was a fast horse, but they don't understand all the times that horse has run around a track in preparation for that Kentucky Derby, or that jockey has been with that horse, or the trainer. It's pretty amazing. But again, I love the fact that for 2 minutes and for actually 2 weeks here, Louisville spotlighted. You know, it's going to come to a culmination tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening on the Kentucky Derby. But it is it's an amazing time for our city here, and I'm very, very proud of how our city shows.
I agree.
During Derby. What other you know, we talk about setting people apart in our business. What sets people apart? Is it? I mean, we might have just hit on it with the drive and the.
I think work ethic.
Yeah.
Is a big part of. You know, I would say if you're married to somebody who's in this kind of business and sales, and if you don't see them in the basement or in the garage or in the backyard rehearsing what they do,
right?
You know, like presenting to the air,
right?
Or bringing the kids into a room and giving them a presentation. If you don't see that, they're probably marginal successful.
Yeah.
But that person who pitches their friends, not to really sell them, but to practice.
Right.
That person who's up later, you know, and they up late and then they get up early.
Right. Have their day planned.
Right. And they're planning out what they're going to do, and even to the words that they might say, and they're rehearsing it over and over again, so that when they finally do say what they're going to say, that it comes out natural, that it flows out of them. That person I find to be the most successful in our business. It's the person who thinks that business starts when they show up.
Right.
Are the people who struggle in our business. Right. Business does not start when you show up. Right. Business started long before then, right? It's like when I was trying to win my wife, right? I didn't win my wife in one conversation. Right. I had to show up a lot, a whole lot. Practice. Right? Practice? You talk about practice? Yes, I'm talking about practice. Makes all the difference in the world. And I think when the people come to people setting themselves apart, it's about how much you're willing to work for. Right. And I grew up in the neighborhood, right? I use that term, right? Yeah. So I'm from the street. So they used to say, I hustle till I'm dead, right? Yeah. Like, so that means I'm trying my best to make something happen all the time. Every conversation is, in the back of it, there's, how can I make something happen? Right. And that doesn't mean sales. That just means how do I help push people up? How do I help make a difference? How do I turn things? But if you're constantly in the mode, I mean, if I'm on vacation, I still want to inspire. Right. Even if I'm not doing what I'm doing, I still want to show kindness. I still want to make a difference to the people I interact with. And the truth is, sometimes the person who I never talk to about what I do ends up being the person who wants to do business with me, because they just say, I like you. I like what you're all about. Right. So I think when you say what really sets people apart, what that is their work ethic. Yeah, I would agree. We're not only Derby time, but it's NBA finals are going. Boy, there's a lot of, Terry Rozier, Donovan Mitchell, all those folks. There's some Kentucky Wildcats that are running the court still, all that kind of stuff. And but proud of all of our players here. I am actually. Yeah. But what's interesting, you look at the guys that set them, the Kobes, the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, the Steph Currys. And I always say, how many people are in the NBA right now that have that same talent and maybe more, but they don't show up 2 hours early, for practice and continue to hone their craft. They don't give it their all when they're on the court, and it's those little differences that set people apart. And I'm going to butcher it, but I know LeBron got on one of his people on his team because they showed up 15 minutes before their practice, and the guy said, I realized he'd already been there 2 hours. And so that's what sets greatness apart from mediocrity. I mean, the NBA players are all awesome, but that next level. And I'm seeing our screen here. We are coming to the end of episode number 2 of Dream Big, Be Bold. And yes, folks, as that sign says there, we are growing. If you have an interest in sales, if you'd like to check us out, we'd love to set up a time to talk with you. You can call me directly at 502-876-9939. That's 502-876-9939. I see I'm blocking the number there a little bit, but
we are creating legacies here. Yeah, that's right. We'll back away a little bit. There we go. But we do have a wonderful opportunity here, wonderful training, mentorship. We are taking folks from here and moving them to here because of their work ethic. And you got to bring it every single day. That's part of this. But just want to wish you a happy weekend as we head into it. If you're here in Louisville, enjoy Derby. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. And Ron, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Take care. Good, Ron. We're still
live right now.
Yeah, we are still live. I got to get over here. I got to get more people.